Hello again everybody. Did you see in the news recently that Piers Morgan fractured his hip after a fall in a restaurant? He's only 60 and it must have been a terrible shock to him and his family. We wish him of course a very speedy recovery. Fractures of the hip are actually very common in the UK, particularly as we get older. Piers Morgan had a fracture of the neck of the femur that was treated with a total hip replacement. In this video I'll explain what a fracture of the neck of the femur is, who is most at risk, why the injuries happen and what you can do to reduce your risk. This is especially relevant if you're middle-aged or older and you have concerns about hip pain, arthritis or bone strength. So what is a fracture of the neck of the femur? The femur is the thigh bone and the neck of the femur is the narrow section just below the ball of the hip joint. When this area breaks, it's called a hip fracture. The blood supply to the head of the femur can be damaged by some types of fractures, which means that healing can often be unpredictable. For that reason, most fractures of the neck of the femur need surgery. Sometimes the fracture is fixed with screws. In other cases, a half hip replacement is used. This is called a hemiarthroplasty, and it's usually done for older people who have limited mobility before they had the fall. In younger, more active people, a hip replacement is usually done. Some fractures of the hip don't involve the neck of the femur, they're a bit further away. These are treated with a screw and plate or a nail that goes down the shaft of the femur. So how common are hip fractures in the UK? Well, around 75,000 people a year are admitted to hospital with a hip fracture. That's about one person every 7 minutes. These injuries are a major part of the trauma and orthopaedic workload, and the numbers are growing as the population ages. When I was training, we cut our surgical teeth on hip fractures. They were our bread and butter, and it's how we learnt to do hip surgery. So who's most at risk? Well, age is the biggest risk factor. The rates of fractures steadily increase after 60 and they rise sharply after 70 and 80. Women account for around 2/3 of hip fractures, mainly due to postmenopausal bone loss, and of course because they live longer. Men who have hip fractures tend to be older and have other medical issues which make them frail. So what about the role of bone and muscle health? Well, most fractures of the neck of the femur are regarded as fragility fractures. The bone isn't as strong as it should be, making it vulnerable to breaking after a fall. This is called osteopenia, thinning of the bone. In more severe cases, it's osteoporosis. Hip fractures are usually the result of a slip or a trip. They're regarded as low energy injuries, as distinct from a high energy injury such as a car accident or a fall from a height. Osteoporosis plays a major role, but of course so does loss of muscle mass and poor balance. Reduced muscle strength, slower reactions and poor balance make it harder to recover from a slip, increasing the risk of a fracture. So what happens after a hip fracture? Well, it's a surgical emergency and they're best treated within 48 hours of the injury to avoid serious complications. Most people who have hip fractures usually have a lot of medical problems as well, and a multidisciplinary team of surgeons, physicians and anaesthetists is needed to optimise the patient's condition before surgery to get the best outcome. Sadly, some patients will not return to their previous level of immobility, and some of course will lose their independence. These fractures have a major impact on people because many of them are already vulnerable and struggling to cope with day-to-day activities. A lot of them live on their own and they might have to have arrangements made to care for them. Whatever age you are though, having a hip fracture is a major life event and it has a big psychological impact. Many people are anxious and depressed after surgery and it can take a long time to recover. So why does this matter if you're middle-aged? Well, bone mass, muscle mass and balance in middle age strongly influence fracture risk later in life. Prevention should start years before the first fall. Easier said than done, of course, but it's never too late to start getting into shape. So how can you reduce your risk? Well, hip fractures are not inevitable. The risks can be reduced by maintaining good muscle strength, improving balance and having a good diet rich in protein. Consider taking vitamin D supplements, and if you're a woman, think about HRT, especially if you've had an early menopause. Look around your home to see if there are any trip hazards, such as loose rugs, cables and slippery surfaces. I hope you found this interesting. There's a lot more about hip fractures I could talk about, so if you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below or get in touch. My contact details are in the description. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.